I understand the efforts of the Prime Minister. I see where he's going with his effort. He's trying to keep Jamaica safe and healthy. But at the same time, trying to keep us healthy with this tragedy is actually starving us. Just like on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Before I get into today's subject, as you guys can see, I'm sporting made in 1971, 50 years of being awesome, right? This is my 50th birthday week. Celebrating my birthday for a week. At the end of this video, you will have a special treat because my wife will grace the stage with her presence and chit chat with you guys for a few minutes. But before we get into all the fun stuff, let's get into all the serious stuff of what's going on in Jamaica. So there's a lot going on in Jamaica. There was Grace, so shout out to all my Caribbean people who survived Grace. But today I'm really going to discuss two topics. I'm going to be discussing the lockdown that Andrew Holness has put in place in Jamaica. It's 3 days in a row, I think twice. So I think in total, Jamaicans will be looking forward to 7 days lockdown, something like that. But currently, as I'm speaking, Jamaica is under a 24-hour lockdown. Someone reached out to me from Jamaica yesterday to fill me in on what's going on in Jamaica. So I'm going to be speaking to Andrew Holness and I'm going to be speaking to the rest of Jamaica, and you guys can agree or disagree. Then, because I won't have a whole lot to say on the matter than what I heard or what I'm aware of, I will also merge it with another news that was coming out of Jamaica. Jamaicans, especially in Kingston and St. Andrew, not all, but there were some Jamaicans picketing about the United States Embassy flying its pride flag or flying the pride flag. So I will get into that, share my opinion. So without any further ado, people, let's get it. So Jamaica's 3-day lockdown. According to Andrew Holness, this has never been done before. This is actually an experiment, a trial. So that's telling me that it might work, it might not work. According to Andrew Holness, the objective of the 3-day lockdown is to reduce the infective rate of COVID's Delta variant. Like I say, it's an experiment. It might work and it might not work. But what I've learned amid this proposition of experiment from Jamaicans on the ground is that the Prime Minister and his delegates are making rules with a tunnel vision. The Prime Minister and his delegates are making these rules and they're thinking of only their class of people. So I'm going to use my sources word for word. My source pretty much says people in the lower income bracket of Jamaica, they live day to day, meaning they don't have a stockpile of food in their kitchen, cupboard, or pantry where they can say, okay, I can stay home for 3 days and deal with this and can feed myself and my family. My source is pretty much saying he speaks for a high percentage of Jamaicans that's in the lower income rank. These people earn money daily and shop daily, kind of an hand-to-mouth kind of thing. Living comfortable or being rich, it has its good pointers and it has its bad pointers. I think it even has worse pointers when you're the leader of a country. When you're a comfortable person in life, meaning you're not in need of a lot of things, the thing is, it blindsides you. It gives you a tunnel vision, and because all your friends and associates share the same life class, you don't see poverty. So even when you hear of poverty, you can't so much imagine it. So You can say, okay, I can do a curfew for 3 days because what's 3 days? I got everything in my kitchen, my pantry's overloaded, my dogs are fed, my cats are fed. I'm not in need of anything. I could just stay home and chill. I got my internet, got everything, got my office. I can work from home, and if I can't work from home, I can just chill and watch Netflix or whatever. So what I'm saying is, to the wealthier people in Jamaica and around the world, it is a bad side effect that people get from comfort. They don't see it as a bad side effect because it brings no pain to them. But I'm saying, for politicians, for presidents and prime ministers and managers and people who are in charge of a group of people, it is a side effect that they don't feel the effect, but it's a big burden on their people. So as much as this 72 hours curfew is already in effect, I'm hoping that my voice and my message will give the Prime Minister a second thought, and he would bring his delegates together and try to come up with something that works for both his class of people and the average Jamaicans. Because after hearing it, I was corresponding with this person. They was telling me, like, listen, I understand the efforts of the Prime Minister. I see where he's going with his effort. He's trying to keep Jamaica safe and healthy. But at the same time, trying to keep us healthy with this tragedy is actually starving us, because we have to go out daily. We don't have a lot of money stashed in the bank that we can just withdraw some money for the 3 days and stockpile up some food and all the necessities that we will need. If that is a fact, Andrew Holness and the JLP needs to rethink. I did a video not so long ago where I say that Andrew Holness's party, the Jamaica Labour Party, the history of it, so I'm not pointing at Andrew Holness, the history of the Jamaican Labour Party caters to the higher taxpayers, caters to the richer Jamaicans. And the richer Jamaicans are the lower percentage of the population. So Andrew Holness, if this comes across you at any point, give it some deep thought. Personally, I've expressed on this channel a lot that Andrew Holness is a prime minister who I admire for a lot of his contribution to the country, serving as a prime minister. But he's only human, and Jamaican citizens are there to check Andrew Holness, to let him know that, hey, I understand that you can't see in the wider scope. So we are going to be your eyes in this community, So speaking for the poor, speaking for a class of people that you probably only associate with during campaign time, these people need to be out on the street. And it will be a painful reaction that someone is going out on the street during the mandated curfew time just to find food, just to get something to eat, and get arrested. That would just be sad. That's pretty much all I have to say about that right there. I would love to hear from my Jamaicans in Jamaica, or my Jamaicans anywhere that's got news from out of Jamaica regarding the current situation, to tell me how you feel about it. Do you feel like how I feel, like the Jamaican Labour Party and the Prime Minister need to find another strategy? Do you actually believe that the Jamaican Labour Party and Andrew Holness are ignoring the needs of poor people or their actual situation? Now on to the pride flag that is flying or was flown in Ligony at the US Embassy. I covered this before because I don't believe it's the first time the US Embassy has flown a LGBT Pride flag. And I feel two ways about it, maybe three, but this is how I feel about it. I believe that the United States Embassy in Jamaica, the United States embassies around the world, I believe that they are government institutions and they should not side with any movement. I don't believe that the United States Embassy should fly any movement flag, whether that is LGBT Pride flag, a Rastafarian flag, an ISIS flag, a Calvary flag. I don't believe that U.S. embassies should fly any other flag than their country's flag. It's the U.S. Embassy. We represent the United States of America. The U.S. Embassy is a government institution. The U.S. Embassy is political. The U.S. Embassy is only about the United States of America. The U.S. Embassy doesn't add LGBT. LGBT is a universal movement. It does not belong to America. America might be this country that flexes muscle and boasts that it gives people the most freedom in the world, but even so, it doesn't own the LGBT. It doesn't belong to one particular country. It is a universal movement. Why would any embassy of the world fly any other flag? Let's take it away from the U.S. Embassy real quick, and let's say the Olympics. Let's say when Jamaicans are walking around the Olympics, you know, the introduction of the teams. Let's say Jamaicans were flying their flag, and at the same time we have a Rastafarian flag because it's a part of our culture. It would not be accepted because this is the Olympics. You are here running for your country. You're not here promoting your culture. So the United States of America's embassies, in my opinion, should only fly their flags, especially if they want people to take them seriously. Because Biden-Harris administration, they're trying to clean up the pieces at the moment, because we must admit, the United States of America was the top country of the world, but it fell from grace. It did. Even Americans have to admit that. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a pride flag. Again, in my opinion, the United States of America, federal business, government business, political business, representing a country, not movements of the country. The second thing I want to say about the embassy in Ligony. To my understanding, embassies around the world share a different jurisdiction than the country that it appears to be in. In other words, what I understand about embassies, the minute you go through the gate, you're no longer in Jamaica, technically. The minute you step on the embassy grounds, technically you're in the jurisdiction of that country, whatever embassy it is. So the one in Ligony, to my understanding, jurisdiction-wise, when you step on that ground, you're technically in the jurisdiction of the United States of America. So, for example, let's say there's an American fugitive in Jamaica, or there's someone in Jamaica who is fearing for their lives and they're being chased. The minute they show proof at the gate that they're a U.S. citizen and they get into that building, it's now an international situation. Jamaica can't just touch that person just because the building appears to be in Ligony. You need to go to some form of extradition process. So that's my understanding to embassies, their properties. Correct me if you guys know different, but that's what I know. If that is a fact, that their property in Ligony is under the U.S. jurisdiction, it's not a lot that Jamaica can do about it. It's not a lot that Jamaican citizens can do about it. Let me give you a different example just in case it's difficult for you guys to see. I live in Switzerland currently, and at the moment I live in the city of Zurich, but before I moved to Zurich, I used to live in the state of Zurich, but about 5 minutes from Germany. And in my neighborhood was just parted by a river, and I was free to swim across the river as I wish, anytime I like. And there was also a bridge, so I could walk over the bridge if I like, but it wouldn't take me no more than 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. So let's say where I live was Jamaica, and the other side was America. I can see everything that they do right there. If they put up a gay pride flag and it bothers me, that's all it does. It bothers me. But I and my government have no jurisdiction of what they do over there. So I have to turn a blind eye. Make it even better. There are parts of Switzerland, Zurich where I live, that borders with Germany. And there is no water. It's landlocked. If somebody doesn't tell you you're in Germany, you wouldn't know that you're in Germany because it's just one step here, I'm in Germany, next step here, I'm in Switzerland. So that's pretty much what I'm saying to you about the embassy. Most embassies, to my knowledge, all embassies, they're a jurisdiction of the country they represent. So it might be hard to understand, but I understand that from a legal point of view, and I even understand it more from where I live. You know, I live in Switzerland, which is bordered by 4 countries, and it's all landlocked. Italy, France, Germany, Liechtenstein. They're all landlocked, and it only takes, if you're driving, one turn and you're in another country, depending on what edge of Switzerland you're on. So as much as that looks crazy, 2 minutes I could step over here and I'm on international ground. Next minute I step over here, I'm on my local ground. So I use that to demonstrate to you guys who live in Papine or live in Ligony and can't really grasp that. You're telling me that right there across the street, that's considered America. Jurisdiction-wise, yes. Physically wise, we're in Jamaica, that looks like it's Jamaica. I get it. But when it comes to politics, there's a lot of trickery. One of the protesters that I saw on CVM TV quoted rules and laws from the Jamaican Constitution. I didn't really research it, and I deliberately didn't research it because I leave room for contesting, for people to contest my argument. If I do all my research and I have all the knowledge, then I'm just here teaching, which I don't mind, but I also would like to learn. So I would like someone to contest my conclusion if that is a fact, if it's possible. Anyway, people, that's pretty much it that I have to say in both topics. But like I say, it's a birthday week. I'm still celebrating, as you can see. Loving my shirt. But yeah, before I go, like I say, bring my wife on stage. We are here in Antina. You see the flag from Jamaica. We have video from Dongayard, Europe, Switzerland, all in Asia. And here she is.
Hi, people.
So yeah, 50, 50.
Yeah.
Together,
50.
Together we're 100. So first and foremost, we want to say thanks to you guys who participated on the community section.
Yeah, and the thumbs up was great to see.
And thanks for all the birthday wishes. You know,
yeah.
Like we said, we're doing a whole 7-day stretch of the celebration. You know, you got to make something big out of 50.
Exactly. And we can't do much with this pandemic. We had a whole, about 2-3 years ago, we thought, okay, we're gonna put a little list together, itinerary of what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go for our 50th. Yeah. And it didn't turn out that way.
Right. So our bucket list is on pause at the moment. Yes. Our travel bucket list, there is so many places in the world that we want to see. But as you guys know, you know, traveling is a bit sticky at the moment. Yeah. But we try to make the best of it locally. To be honest, we're enthused about going out to celebrate it.
Yes.
You know, but I don't know. I've never discussed this with a wife before, so it's the first she's going to hear this, you know. I'm a bit iffy with restaurants at the moment.
Yes.
You know, I'm not so trusting with restaurants at the moment. but it's a thing that we do a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
it's a part of our livelihood.
Yeah, I can understand your mistrust.
Yes, you know what I mean? So that kind of keep us somewhat housebound. I mean, not that we're going to stay at home all the time, but at the same time, we're going to make the best of it. Wife for Life is going to make me a birthday cake. So it's going to fit somewhere there in
Yes.
you know.
In all of
And
it.
for all my viewers and subscribers, forgive me. I've never actually say which day exactly is my birthday. That's a personal choice. I just don't believe I should advertise everything about myself online.
No.
So I'm celebrating my birthday between August 20th and the 27th. Exactly. But do know I'm an August person, you know. Appreciation for all the wishes.
Yes.
Appreciation for all the sentiments. Some people wish us longevity and 50 more years to come, you know. 50 more years these days are...
50 more years between us.
I mean, God's willing, we'll see another 50.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, we're grateful for this 50.
Exactly.
You know? And another reason why you're here is to say to the females, you know, I'll speak to the men, and you can speak to the females. What have you garnered in 50 years? What have you, this is now an arrival point at 50.
I think with females, it's so much different because your personality changes somewhat. That's because of the menopause, I would say. At this age is, you know, you get a little more anxious, I think. You get a little bit more fed up with people and other things, you're short-tempered, so your attitude changes a little bit, and of course you look at yourself in a way that, okay, I'm not 30 years old anymore, so I'm 50, so do I dress 50, or how do I dress, how do I carry myself,
right,
you know?
Right, presentation
as a
matters.
50-year-old,
Yes.
I mean, for me, my fashion sense hasn't really changed. I know that some women do automatically when they reach 50. It seems a big deal. Fashion seems a big deal, or style.
To style down. To style down or style up, because
I think to style down, because
this is what I'm saying.
I think most 50-year-old women are comfortable, so you know, it doesn't really matter. They go into the supermarket in their pajamas, or you know.
But I think that narrows down to personality.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, do I want to feel old at 50?
Exactly.
You know, because I do think dressing affects a person's mood, a person's feeling. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. For me, you know, for my men out there, at 50, for those who are already at 50 and surpass 50, y'all could educate me a little on what surpassing 50 is like. For the younger ones who are just approaching 50, and for all my subscribers who are curious about my sense of life at 50, you get older, you get wiser. I can't say I got bolder. I've always been a bold person, you know.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well for women. I think we do get a little bit more bolder and
confident. Yes. For me, as the years go by, as I approach 50, I have less tolerance with what I define as stupidity or illogics. Yes. You know what I mean? I find that I am more reserved. You know, I find that I'm very selective when it comes to people I associate with. But we're not going to drag this one out. If you guys want us to do a video on life at 50 where we just sit down and chit chat, we can do that. But
we can actually do a live.
Yes, we've only done...
If you would like a live with both of us.
Yeah, I've only done one live on my channel before. It was a bit testy. You know, the whole family was involved. But go over to Ian and Tina, our channel on YouTube. There will be a video coming of some of the activities that we got into. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I had to let the wife for life grace the stage with her face.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here. I see a few comments about, oh, where's your wife? So, Yes,
Yes.
I don't mind that.
So I have to please my subscribers.
Exactly.
You know. Anyway, people, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
As you know, on this channel, I appreciate thumbs up and thumbs down, agreement and disagreement, because at the end of the day,
each one teach one.
each one teach one. We've reached the end of my video, and that in itself is a support that I truly appreciate. Other ways that you can support this channel is by giving this video a thumbs up. But the most important way to support my channel is to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any of my future uploads. The third way to support this channel is to go to my Teespring account and purchase in any of my merch. And the fourth way that you can support this channel is joining me in Patreon to give me a contribution to help me to do what I do here on YouTube. Once again, I want to thank all of you guys for checking out my video and ask that you continue to join me, ENT Sabas, here on YouTube to see where my journey takes me. Until next time, peace.